Do you know what is median income in Singapore? The number? $5,197. Of course, this includes employer contribution to CPF also. So the real gross median income is actually $4,550 as shown in this yellow line. Now, median refers to the fifth person if you have a cohort of 10. So this number does not get dragged by someone who is a high income earner. And it's a number that we will use for today's discussion to understand if we can get enough for full retirement sum when we reach the age of 55. So if you're curious, continue watching. Hi guys, welcome back. I've actually shared this Excel table in my Telegram group. So if you'd like to join us, look for links below. JOSH TAN Investment Official Group. Do note on Telegram, it's a cowboy's land. There are many impersonators. This is our official group that only has constructive discussions in finance. Now, when I shared this for testing, I also realized something. I wanted to simulate how much CPF is earned for someone who is in the median income range. And when I inputted into my calculator, I realized that this number seemed a bit low from my experience. Maybe it's with some selection biases because, again, we don't know people in other walks of life, and we tend to extrapolate what we are seeing in our circle to represent the entire nation, which is just simply not true. But again, realize there's something wrong with this. $4,550 for someone aged 30 is actually not the real median income by age group. The real number, as you can see over here, is $5,850. This again is for someone aged 30, which means the annual salary is about $70,000. But take note, this again factors in employers' contribution to CPF. Therefore, the adjusted gross amount to use for CPF calculation should be around $5,210. I'll use this for adjustment towards CPF OA, which is 23%, and 6% contribution to SA. So using all the right CPF amounts for each age group, you can actually see there's painstakingly built up because the formula is not so easy. And as always, if you appreciate the hard work, smash the like button and share this to someone who's really curious how to build towards retirement with full retirement sum. Now, assuming I'm correct with my calculations, what would happen to someone who's earning gross median income at age of 30? Firstly, by age of 35, this person will have earned the full retirement sum if we add OA and SA. This again assumes start of work from age of 23. Ladies may actually start careers earlier. But if we were to assume this, then if the person transfers everything from OA to SA at the age of 35, then quite possibly the person will have full retirement sum already because SA compounds at a rate that's faster than the full retirement sum increment. But again, any transfers is one way from OA to SA, and SA cannot be used for mortgage. Now let's further assume this person continues to work at median salary all the way until age of 55. What would happen to the total amounts? The person at age of 55 would have $859,000 in OA and $395,000 in SA, a total of $1.25 million. Looks quite a lot, correct? So the question is, if OA is fully used for property and there's only SA left for retirement and this is going to get sucked into retirement account for FRS, is it enough or not? Unfortunately, the answer is actually no. Someone working at median income all the way, purely on SA, it's just not enough to fill up the full retirement sum. Because full retirement sum for this person at age of 30 this year now, when he or she is age of 55, the full retirement sum should be around $486,000. That is still way above the special account balance of $395,000. The next question you may have is, full retirement sum, you're using an inflation of 3.5%, correct? Is that unreasonable? Let me explain again why it may not be. Because based on CPF data, there are actually more and more who have full retirement sum in cash when they reach the age of 55. This is actually quite the opposite of what some are complaining that full retirement sum is so hard to reach. Previously, in 2018, 4 in 10 had full retirement sum using their balances in OA and SA. Then in 2022, there are actually 5 in 10, half of the people having full retirement sum. So there's no real political pressure, right, to slow down the growth of full retirement sum calculation. And the second part is inflation is still strong. It's not coming down too much. CPF payouts are meant to provide for retirement, which means if inflation is 3-4%, the full retirement sum has to inflate also. It cannot stay stagnant. Therefore, I believe that 3.5% is not unreasonable, or if you feel that's too aggressive, maybe forecast it at a 3% growth. So back to our table. Median income earned all the way, correct? What are some glaring problems? I don't know if you've realized this or not. The first is that there's no working gap. From the age of 23 all the way to the age of 55, every year this person is working. No sabbatical due to family, no sabbatical due to health, no sabbatical just to travel somewhere. Consistent work all the way. Now, not everybody goes through such a career path, especially for the new generation. But there's a further more glaring problem that you may have noticed already. This median income is inflating at 3.4%. And I use 3.4% because it's the 10-year average for the entire Singapore's median income growth. While it's reflective of the entire Singapore population, it may not be what is really experienced by an individual. Because you have heard of stories of people getting retrenched in their 40s and 50s. You have heard stories also of people who have taken a pay cut because they are just so burnt out from their work. So pay actually drops when someone reaches an older age. And if we pull back this gross median monthly income table, you would realize that actually age of 45 to 49, it drops, correct? Which means the peak is around 45. Then at 50 to 54, it drops further. Then you may ask also, total median income is 5,197. How come most cohorts seem to be above that number, correct? I can explain. This table only shows until 54. But actually, when a person reaches 55 to 60, the drop is even bigger. For the cohort of 60 plus, that's an even steeper drop where the median income is only at 2,000 plus. But the concept remains. You may see a career peak in your 40s also. So let's go back to our calculator to simulate for better retirement forecasting lessons. So let me do a quick demonstration with you. If there is a pay cut that's going to happen, let's simulate it from the age of 46 and drop the income from 8,006 to 8,000 per month. From the age of 46 all the way to the age of 50. This again is in 15-20 years time. Then subsequently, this person will also see a further pay cut from the age of 51 to 55. And let's drop the amount to 7,000 per month. This simulation is pretty close to what's experienced on the ground for median income across different age groups. So let's highlight again the peak income age, which is around the age of 45. Now what can we realize? If this person is going through this path of income, he or she is actually unable to reach full retirement sum purely based on special account balances. The special account balance will be around 353,000, whereas the full retirement sum will stand at $486,000. So is there a solution? Maybe let me propose one. We do know that we can top up to special account, correct? And the maximum for tax relief is $8,000. So let's use this example and at the age of 40 onwards, top up 8,000 with cash into special account. 8,000 per year all the way from 40 to 50. Done. What do we see? The total balance now is finally above the full retirement sum. Pretty good, correct? But again, it requires the person to have 8,000 per year to do their contribution. Maybe there's obligations, family to raise. That free cash flow of 8,000 just does not exist. Or, for example, it's a mother with a few kids and the working mother's child relief just simply removes away most of the tax burden and there's not too much tax incentive contributing this $8,000. But not to worry, let me show you an alternative to get to full retirement sum. Let's firstly remove away this $8,000 per year contribution and instead go back to the age of 30. At this point of time, measure how much is needed for home, and for example, if there is surplus of $70,000, can this $70,000 be moved from OA to SA? The effect is going to be like this. A total SA balance now of 551 reflected right at the very bottom. maybe no need such a big amount to be contributed. Let's adjust this figure to $50,000 a year only. How about that? Minus 50,000 here, plus 50,000 here. What do we realize? Full retirement sum purely by special account can now still be achieved. At this point of time, I also like draw ordinary account balances of about $700,000. This is very important because our simulation is if you are using your OA to fully pay your house and purely rely on SA for full retirement sum, this $700,000 is actually your budget that you can set aside for your home. With that, I'd like to draw some quick conclusions. The first is that at median income, getting to full retirement sum with special account is actually not possible. You may need to along the years do SA top up, or you may need to transfer a big amount when you are much younger from OA to SA. The second is that your choice of home actually impact your ability to reach full retirement sum, because what we've simulated so far is purely using special account to reach full retirement sum. If you are buying a house that's smaller than your total amount of OA earned, you would realize that your OA can also contribute to full retirement sum, which makes the retirement equation much easier. If you are a sole breadwinner or the main breadwinner, I would suggest a 3 or 4 room flat seems to be a comfortable range. On the other hand, if you have dual income, both at median income range, then a HDB 5 room or a EC can actually still be comfortably afforded. Hopefully this has been insightful, and of course the best way is to always continuously grow your income, invest well for financial freedom. And this relates to a previous topic I've done before. If you're single earning $6,000 per month, how to get to financial freedom. Check this video out, I think it's also very insightful, and I'll see you there too. Take care as always, goodbye.